Hello, my name is Ilona and I want to talk about an article that actually was translated in Dutch. So I actually found it on a Dutch site, but this is actually an English article from Derek Broos. This is from July 15th, 2024. And what is the Great Inversion? And he's talking about the inversion of, I think he defines this as a false awakening, whereby the steadily waking masses of freedom lovers are duped into falling for fake heroes and messiahs and stealthily manipulated into supporting their own enslavement. Essentially, I believe, and this is the person, the author that wrote this article, the rise of Elon, Mr. T, Tucker and other figures is part of a false awakening. And he's also talking about Rudolf Steiner, mentioning this, that he talked about this. I'm just going to see if I can find this. In Rudolf Steiner's 1919 lecture, Lucifer and Ahriman, the anthroposophical philosopher outlines a similar concept using the name of Christ, Lucifer, and what he calls Ahriman. And this is very interesting. So he talks about Lucifer that is trying to, let's see if I can find this. Lucifer could be said to represent a false light with a focus on spiritual practices which take people away from the Christ energy, and the Ahriman represents materialism and a more mechanical and static energy. And I thought that was very interesting. He also talks about Steiner, that Ahriman is most likely going to be reincarnated. It sounded like the Antichrist in a way. I know there are a lot of stories about that as well, and I'm probably going to talk about that in another video, but Ahriman was more represented as something more materialistic. That feels to me like transhumanism. So all these people that trying to, create this combination of humans with technology and things like that. It's very materialistic. And then, of course, Lucifer is more of the false ways of leading people astray on a spiritual level. I thought that was very interesting. And I just wanted to take a look with my card about this, because I do have, of course, my own perspective on this, and I do see things differently. But I just wanted to take a look. What is the Great Inversion? Is this correct? Is this, at least for me, of course, and if it resonates with me? And I was kind of, curious what the cards would show. And this was very interesting. This is what I got from the cards, from what he is talking about. First of all, the Four of Cups. Then we've got the Eight of Cups. In the past, we have the Three of Wands. Underneath the Eight of Cups, we've got the Ten of Swords. And then for the future is the Hanged Man and the Temperance card. And this really just felt like they're trying still, of course, to manipulate us, but a lot of people are not accepting that anymore. I know a lot of people are afraid. We follow Mr. T, we're following Elon, it's all fake, it's all part of the same thing, same coin, and we're falling for the dark energies again. I don't see that happening. I see a lot of people rejecting that because the Great Awakening is really happening. And someone who is conscious is much more powerful than a lot of unconscious people. So it may seem like most of the people, most of humanity is still unconscious, but we have a group of people becoming conscious, and they are way more powerful than the unconscious people, because we're starting to use our energies for what we truly want. We don't want this anymore. We are actually moving away from this. The Eight of Cups is really showing that emotionally and spiritually, we're moving from this entire situation. We're done with this. That's the Ten of Swords. We're done with this entire manipulation on whatever level. And I'm not even talking if Elon or Mr. T or Tucker is actually connected to the dark energies. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. I feel we are completely moving away from being manipulated. That we shouldn't be afraid of that anymore. I personally don't believe that Elon, Mr. T or Tucker are really dark energies anymore. I do believe that it's possible they were in the past, especially with Elon. I believe we're in Elon 4.0 by now. We just don't know. It doesn't really matter, because we see the role he plays. And I think especially with X, he really opened people's minds. He really opened up a conversation that helped people realize what is going on. So I don't see him as this false side. And to be very honest, I don't put anyone on a pedestal. And I think that's the most important part. Not even Mr. T, Tucker or Elon. I do think they are playing a very important role, but don't put them on pedestals. Don't follow them blindly. Don't follow anyone blindly. I think that's the biggest issue with a lot of people, that they're still looking to find someone that they can follow, that it's the same mechanism and the same thing that is happening, that what the dark energies have been doing and programming us, that we have to look outside of ourselves, of finding what we're supposed to do, what we're supposed to think, what we're supposed to say. It's now about turning inwards and rejecting the things outside. That's also why I focus less on the news anymore, because it's all outside. And of course, there's nothing wrong with following it, but don't get dragged into it. You know, make your own choices. See if it resonates with you or not. Just like this article, does it resonate with you? It doesn't resonate with you. That's all up to you. This is what I'm sensing, and this is how I see things. I believe Elon, Mr. T, and Tucker have a role to play. I don't see the white hats as like completely opposite of the black hats. I see them as a balance, which is the most important part, between the dark and the light. That's what we're heading. That's what this Great Awakening is about, that we start to balance things so we don't have this extreme duality anymore. And in that way, we are kind of rejecting this entire issue, because then the dark energies certainly won't have any power left. If we don't continue to give them any energy or any power, it stops. They starve. They don't have any power anymore. And I think it's very important for us to realize that we look at what we take in. We are the ones to make the decision what we accept in, what feels right to us, what resonates with us. That's why the inner compass, the connection with God, with your soul, with your higher being is so important. Then you don't have to be afraid of being, misled, or that you're going a wrong way. Find your own strength. That's what the Great Awakening is about. That's what it's about. Even if they were some kind of part in the misleading, I don't think they are. Even more, then it's still up to us to end this. We will know if we have true freedom or not. It's very simple. Do we still have to give away our power? Well, then we're not completely free. Are we the ones now to finally start using our consciousness and our powers to create what we want? We'll see that in the world around us. We need to move away, because that's also very dark energy. Be fearful, distrust things, lose hope, despair. Those are all things that the dark energy also uses. So they even use maybe even articles like this, although I don't know if I do believe that the person actually truly believes this, and that's perfectly fine. But this is something the dark energies could use to keep you on a low frequency. That you don't trust yourself, and that you don't trust maybe even if you see Tucker or Mr. T and it feels right to you. That's like, oh, don't trust that. Don't trust your own feelings. Watch out. They're going to mislead you. It's also a way of completely knocking down hope, because ultimately, if you really look at it, it would be very strange that we only have the choice between the Lucifer, the false light, and the Ahriman. That's it. Where is the white light then? Where is the duality in the white and the dark? Because that's what I'm kind of missing in this entire discussion with white hats, black hats. Like, well, the white hats are also black hats. Well, if that's the case, or whatever you want to call them, that's the case. Then where is the light? Where is God then? It's like, where's the duality then? It's very possible that God does interfere in a way, and that there is good and bad in this duality, in this free will zone. And it's about choices that are being made. So even people in higher places can make different choices, even if they are in a certain family or in a certain bloodline. And there is always a choice. And that's very strange to me, like that is completely eradicated. Like, no. Those, on the top, like Elon, Mr. T, Mr. P from Russia, they're all on the top, so they're all awful. It's like there's no nuance there. And I do think that most of them have been replaced, and there are good energies working through as well. It's about becoming balanced now, and it's up to us to take over and stepping into our power and really understanding that follow your own compass. You don't have to be afraid to be misled. You don't have to be afraid that you're going to end up on the wrong side or in a wrong timeline. Follow your inner guidance. Connect with God, connect with your intuition. That's why it's so important to turn inward instead of outward all the time, and to take time to really connect with yourself. That is your compass that will lead you what is the best for you as your soul and your soul plan. Whatever that may be, wherever you may end up, that is the best way you can go, around this. You don't have to be afraid of this anymore. Have faith, have hope. Those are incredibly strong energies that, lift your vibration. And that is the least thing they want, that you lift your vibration. They really don't like that. So I'll leave it at this and hope to see you in another video. Bye.